what I have an idea that maybe they were lost in the chaos of the war, but also maybe parents gave the children a way that they could survive.
Finally, what do you think your work, what do you hope your work is saying to people?
Ask questions. I have really no answers, and I'm completely lost, I can say, and more lost, really. I mean, I'm lost in my life and lost in my work and lost everywhere. But the only thing we can do is to ask questions. But there is no answers. And it's better not to have the answer, because the answers are always so dangerous, because there is no one answer, there's so many answers. And if somebody thinks that he knows the answer, it's very dangerous.
This piece was made for the last Biennale in Venice, because for me it was very strange to make a Venice Biennale with always big fiesta and art so close from Bosnia. And I tried to make a work about one of the Biennale in 38, and in 38 there was plenty of awful things around. There was a war in China, there was a war in Spain, Hitler robbed Czechoslovakia, but there was also a Biennale, a nice Biennale with plenty of fiesta. And what I did is to melt all the photos of all the paintings were at the Biennale during this time, and some photos I took in a magazine, I mean the photos of the reality and the photos of the art. And what is strange, and it's always like that, the art is so sweet. I mean, it's mostly beautiful woman, fruit, landscape, and the images are so tough. I mean, the art was not the mirror of the reality. But nobody cares about the war and about all was around. Mussolini was there, and a lot of Nazi people were there, and it's exactly the same from now. I mean, everybody is speaking about art, but not about the reality, and the reality was so tough and so close from Venice. I'm a formal artist like all the artists, but I really want that people can forget that and really to think about the meaning. And if you use real documents, they look at that just like a documentation, and in fact it's some kind of documentation also. I mean, I don't know if it is an art piece or not, and I don't know what that means exactly in an art piece, but it's a way to speak or a way to ask a question.
The fact that he has, in a sense, dealt with his own biography. He is his own critic, he is his own archaeologist, he is his own curator, and his life becomes part of his art. And then to really, in a sense, determine what is fact, what actually is an artwork, and what is his life, what is this fiction that he's created, can be difficult and challenging, but that's part of the attraction as well.
I'm what I said before, I'm some kind of mix between a preacher and a clown. But I'm always afraid to be more a clown than a preacher, or I mean, only to, you know, to make my part and to play a part. And
And I think it's very difficult to make a film about an artist, and especially to speak, by example, in front of his own work. Because perhaps it's better not to speak about paintings, or about art, but to look at it, and it's always very difficult to explain everything, because I'm sure there's plenty of things in my works that I don't know, and I hope so. And there's plenty of things in my works that I can't explain. And everybody must find his own way to look at it.
Fide & Video present films on an international array of 20th century artists. Andy, the father of pop art.
Well, do you think that they've shown a lack of appreciation for what pop art means?
No.
Andy, do you think that pop art has sort of reached the point where it's becoming repetitious now?
Yes.
Do you think it should break away from being pop art?
No.
Are you just going to carry on?
Yes.
Painter, graphic artist, filmmaker, enfant terrible.
Real one of Andy Warhol's kitchen.
And cult figure. During the 50s, various approaches to painting prevailed. Patrick Heron's, Arthur Boyd's, and Francis Bacon's. Abstraction was the dominant force, and Jackson Pollock's approach was the most energetic.
Life magazine ran an article that was supposed to be sarcastic with this photograph of Jackson Pollock, and of course it captured the imagination of the public.
Jasper Johns presents familiar emblems and images in new contexts.
Saying she was so proud of me because she had worked so hard to instill some respect for the American flag in her students. And she was so glad that the mark had been left.
David Hockney uses still photography to make pictures of movement.
You can see the city very well by air. You see all these little blue pools, and I thought, oh, that looks very nice to me.
While Roy Lichtenstein turns comic books into high art. And Paula Rego provides an all-too-rare woman's perspective.
The difference, I think, between a great woman painter painting women and a great male painter painting women is that in the case of the women painters, she's got a skeleton.
From Robert Motherwell to Malcolm Morley and Christian Boltanski. Fide & Video brings to life the great avant-garde artists of the 20th century. Call 0171 843 1234.